segment around the leagues, which includes the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, and many others. So, the ongoing drama in Green Bay. Have you been following some of the newer tea leaves or the new pieces of nuggets that have been dropped?
Yep. I
Why didn't they move him?
I have
They
that's
had a
all,
perfect opportunity on draft day.
I
Move him.
would. Yep. I would have tried to get as much as possible for him. Like,
Yes.
or I would have went, Texans, let's do a swap. I'll give you Aaron, you give me Deshaun. I'll take the Deshaun, whatever suspension is going to come down the pipeline, if there is any, and I hope there is not any. But I'll be like, yo, Texans, here you go. You get Aaron Rodgers. Give me Aaron Rodgers, 2 first-round picks, just we'll do an even swap. We'll give you an aging quarterback. You give us Deshaun that has his baggage right now, and we'll go from
They
there.
both have baggage. They both have baggage. It would be like a pretty even deal. I think that Green Bay is being really silly about this, right? Where they're kind of taking the Texas approach, which is interesting that you bring up the Texas, and this is like, well, no, you belong to us. So whether you want to play disgruntled or not, you're staying. You're under contract. Now I get it, but if homeboy wants to leave and he's at the height or closer to his height, the value on Aaron Rodgers is through the roof. You would definitely get a king's ransom for him. You can go to any team. Now you lost your opportunity in a draft that was full of players, in a draft that was full of quarterbacks specifically, and now you're stuck with him. Now stories are coming out that he's in group chats, throwing the GM under the bus. Aaron Jones comes out and says that he believes that the drama could be fixed. Now, when you say the drama could be fixed, what does that mean? Do we got to pay Aaron Rodgers more money so he could be happier? Like, I don't understand. Like, does Aaron Rodgers want to win chips or does Aaron Rodgers want to get paid? Plus, Aaron Rodgers keeps tanking in playoff games. I said it. To bring your Giants into this shit, he got smoked at home by a wild card team. Twice. He just got smoked by one recently. And I'm not saying that Tampa Bay is at the level of the Giants, but both of those teams ended up winning the chip. You've lost multiple games at home. Multiple.
1-4 in the NFC Championship game.
That's terrible.
And in that one game he won, it was against Caleb Haney or some shit like that. It was the backup to the Bears because Jay Cutler was hurt.
Listen, Aaron, I love you, bro, but you need to relax, bro. And I actually didn't even say that because I don't even like you. I don't love you. You need to RELAX. You need to relax, dude, because you're not that dope. You got mad baggage.
And I think he's been in the league 16 years. He's only won 1 chip. I think
it's time to call it, bro.
If I was the Packers, I would have moved on. I would have set an example. Like, listen, we run the organization here.
Yes.
The players do not run the organization here.
No.
You got a lot of these guys who, especially in the media, like, oh my God, you have Aaron Rodgers, and blah, 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 blah. Aaron Rodgers hasn't won a lot of championships, and his playoff record is horrendous. He's like, I think, at 500 or below 500 in his playoff record. And I get it. The Packers haven't done a great job of surrounding him with talent. His defenses have never been. I think he's at 1 top 10 defense or 2 top 10 defenses, and one of those resulted in a Super Bowl win. But like, he has played bad in a lot of these games when it comes to especially the NFC title games. He's 1-4. He has a terrible QBR in these games, and I don't understand why, especially with him, just move off him. Get as much as you fucking can for him. He just came over MVP season. When he came out and announced it on draft day that he doesn't want to be a Packer anymore, I would have been like, perfect.
Done. You're done, bro. Let's go.
I'll trade you for Matt Ryan and a number 4 pick. They could have got Matt Ryan at the quarterback, and they could have got Kyle Pitts at the tight end. And then, you would get Aaron Rodgers to the Falcons. They could have done things where you could have moved on and did it the right way, but for whatever reason, they were prideful, the Packers organization, for whatever reason, and now they missed the opportunity in this draft. Now, I don't know, where do you go to do a deal? What team can you go and...
You're gonna have to trade quarterback for quarterback and picks for the next year, and nobody's gonna be moved.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to, like I said, I would do the Texans.
That's like the only one. It's either that or Russ. Those are the only guys that are on the block.
Or if I
right?
was, if
Everybody else.
my Giants, I'll go and be like, yo, here's 4
That's-
first-round picks and Daniel Jones.
I'll give you the house. We said it, I think, a couple weeks ago. I give you everything to get Rodgers. Especially now, we're gonna get into it in a second. The G-men look like they've done some upgrading, at least on the offensive side of the ball. You bring in you Shepard. They draft the wide receiver. You know, there's some things blossoming in New York. I just tell you this: if he can't, first of all, you know it's weird, and I want to put this in here too, and we're gonna go into it. So remind me that I want to make a comment about the Mets. New York City has to be one of the hardest places to play in. You know why? Because the fans fucking boo.
Yep.
All right. Taking it to Green Bay, right? Listen, Wisconsin, I love you guys, right? But there's no media presence there, right? So Aaron Rodgers is like the big swinging dick on campus. No one is scrutinizing his play. No one is asking him tough questions. After games, he's getting layups. I'm sure when he's going on the road, they might be fucking with him. But again, Detroit, really? Reporters in Detroit are asking tough questions. Reporters in Minnesota are asking tough questions. Like, first of all, let's go to that really quickly. You've had the worst division in fucking football. You've made it to the playoffs every single year. And you got one chip. And that one chip, the Steelers could have beaten you. Because one of the greatest plays in the NFL was Harris going to the house on a 101-yard fucking return. The Steelers played everything they could. I think Ben maybe didn't play up to his thing, but Ben has always pulled out miracles because Ben is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he got 2 chips.
Right? So now, if you bring him to New York, I don't even know if he can handle the media circus in New York. He might be better off going to, Seattle or maybe coming down to Texas where it's going to be easier. But I just feel like this is another question I wanted to ask you. Is Aaron Rodgers overrated?
A little bit.
Right?
I would say it's a little bit overrated. And
yes.
And
like he's now like circling the block of overrated.
Yeah. And then people don't want to hear that because he's so gifted at throwing the football. But like, you got Patrick Mahomes comes in the league and takes over the league. MVP, Super Bowl again.
Lamar Jackson was in the fucking league for a second and fucking ran the house.
Exactly.
Literally. So what the fuck are you doing?
So that's what I'm saying. You just got to move off. Like, it sucks. I am all about player empowerment. I think players should dictate where they go. It's their legacy. You have a small finite amount of time. Even though 15 years sounds like a lot, it's a small ass time for your whole life. If you live to 80, you play 15 years of football. That's not a lot of fucking time.
That's not even a third. Yeah.
So I think you got these players who should dictate where they want to go, who they want to play with, what these organizations, who they should draft, who they should surround themselves with. But at the end of the day, you got to perform too. This is why Tom Brady got who he got, because he brings a winning culture. You have Bruce Arians coming out saying, we're not getting Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is not coming here. He's not a fit. Tom Brady said, we're getting
Take it easy, bro.
Relax.
Take it easy, bro.
And Leonard Fournette. Another one. He had some baggage. We're getting Leonard Fournette. So Tom Brady, just his osmosis, everybody came back.
Yep. Guy's a G. I've been yelling about it since fucking like 08, bro.
So
Guy's
if you win, people will follow, and you hold yourself accountable. The thing with Aaron Rodgers too, he has this little bratty attitude to him, where like he's just too good for everybody. If somebody runs the wrong route, damn, you went that way, you're supposed to go this way. Like, why the fuck you showing up on the field? Like he's doing that in the middle of a game.
He spazzes a lot.
Like on a field. What the fuck do you want a grown ass man to? How's he gonna reply to you?
You punking fools. You're punking adult dudes.
And he's taking the max every single opportunity he's had too.
Agreed. I've never heard Aaron Rodgers once restructure his contract. Not once.
Mm-hmm.
Not once.
So like, which one is it? Like I didn't want to bring this up. I think I'm gonna bring it up. I want to talk about it next week. I want to go through
Let's preview it.
I want to go to the last 10 years. The top 5 quarterbacks of the last 10 years.
Sick. I love this story.
And I could guarantee you, none of them won a championship. So I want to do that next week.
That's a fucking mic drop. Okay, moving on. So we'll go with me, and we'll go with you, and then we'll go to me, and we'll hang around here for a little bit. Are you happy with your overall draft?
I was
as a New York Giant, so the fans know, and the listeners get it.
I was a little confused of why we took a wide receiver.
First of all, hold on. Let me pause it real quick. Did the Giants trade their pick to the Bears, or that trade had already happened?
No, we traded it during the draft.
Why would you do that?
We traded back to get more picks in the second round and third round.
I get that, but why?
I don't know. If
Right?
I was us, we should have drafted Justin Fields.
Facts. What the fuck?
By
are you doing?
Daniel Jones. I don't understand
Yes.
why we have this
Yes.
fixation about Daniel Jones.
I don't get it. I don't. Joe Judge and Gettleman. I think it's Gettleman, right? The
Yep.
GM. What in the fuck do you see in Daniel Jones? Nothing. He's a bum. He's not a good quarterback. He's an okay quarterback. He's at the bottom 20 league. Like, how long has he been in the building for? 4 years or 3 years?
Going on 3 years.
We've seen enough. We've seen
Yeah.
enough. Sorry, bro. We've seen enough.
He's a turnover machine.
Now, this also brings up a point. Is Gettleman racist? Because this is the second time he passes on a black quarterback. He took Daniel Jones over Haskins, right? Now,
Thank
Haskins,
God.
honestly, we get it, but also could have been an institutional thing. Listen, don't tell me that you're throwing 40 touchdowns in college and then you come to the NFL and you forget how to play quarterback. Like, come on, bro. That's impossible, right? That could be you not doing the homework, but if I let you go, if I let you free, like, homie, just, I wonder if you could do this as a coach. Bro, check it out. Just let everybody run streaks and then see what you got, because that's what they do in college. Just every play is streaks, or we're going to run it up the gut and give a guy an opportunity. Now, I'm making obviously an interesting comparison, but Justin Fields is way better than fucking Haskins, and he's way fucking better than Daniel Dimes.
I don't know why we did. That's what I would have done. I would have got Justin Fields, or I would have tried to trade up a little bit more, and I would have went to go get one of the offensive linemen. I would have probably see if I could have traded, move up and traded with Detroit, or move up and traded with somebody who I could have got, Penei Sewell. They're saying that's one of the best rated offensive linemen they've ever seen. And give, Daniel Jones, more protection. Give Saquon Barkley an actual O-line to run behind. We haven't seen actually Saquon run behind a great offensive line. I was a little just dumbfounded in why we got another wide receiver. We have like 7 wide receivers now.
And you didn't even get a good one. Sorry. We see this. No, I don't care. The guys were Alabama and LSU. Don't give me. If I tell you like here's a steak and lobster, and you give me chicken, I'm like, bro, I thought the options was steak and lobster. How the fuck did I get chicken? How the fuck, like, steak and lobster? That's what you said. Steak was motherfucking my man, Chase, and lobster was Devontae. And then you go for, I never even heard of, like, I was doing checks and balances on some of the top players. This guy he didn't cross, I don't know, like, what?
Yeah,
What are we doing?
I was confused. I've been banging on my chest for the last, 7 years. Draft offensive linemen to give your quarterback time to throw the fucking football and give your running backs lanes to run. Tom Brady is the fucking GOAT. Why? Because he gets rid of the ball quickly and he never gets touched. So protect the fucking quarterback. Eli Manning got his, granted, he threw a lot of picks, but our offensive lines were never that great with Eli Manning too. When Eli Manning had protection, he was a sniper. But when we don't got good offensive linemen, there's nothing we can do. You can't. You're gonna force an unathletic quarterback to get fucked up, because any quarterback could, if you're a good or a medium, a good or average quarterback, and you have time and you can read progressions, you're good. But if you're getting rushed off your spots, you suck, and that's been proven, and that's Tom Brady's Achilles kryptonite.
That's all quarterbacks' Achilles heel.
All of them.
If I get to you, you're done.
Look at Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. He was fucking running for his life.
Bro, Deshaun Watson, fucking Russell Wilson. Everybody, like, if I start chasing this guy, there's only so much you can fucking do.
Exactly. So I thought overall we did a good job with our draft. I like our defense.
Did you look at all the picks? Did you look at all the picks?
Yeah, we got another.
Okay, tell me what you got, because you got a wide receiver nobody's heard of.
We got a wide receiver. We got another cornerback to match up with Daniel Bradbury. Something Bradbury. I always forget his name. We got a defensive end, if I'm not mistaken. Tell you right now. Hold on.
Yeah. You take your time, because to be honest with you, I thought they shit the bed. And I think it was NFL Network. I forget what they said that the Giants had the 5th best offseason.
Yeah, so we got
What?
round 1. We got the Kadarius Toney, which is the wide receiver in the first round, which
Never
I thought
heard
was
of him.
confused.
Uh-huh.
Then
I
we got
was
a outside
confused.
linebacker,
Okay.
which we needed. Our linebacker core sucks. We got a cornerback, Aaron Robinson.
Okay.
We
I
got.
feel like all projects.
I don't know why we took two cornerbacks. I thought that was kind of weird. And we just signed one, Adoree Jackson. We signed him in
Yeah, I like that Adoree Jackson shit, but apparently he's coming off of an injury, so they're skeptical. But he got a hell of a deal. I like him. I think he played for Texas previously, or the Patriots. One of those two. He might have played for both teams.
We took 3 cornerbacks in the draft.
Yeah, what are we doing here, New York Giants? So you basically left one of the best quarterbacks, best wide receivers. Even you could argue that they could have traded down to get a tight end to give Daniel Jones more players to throw to.
Well, we signed one, so that's why.
Please, first of all, I've been watching this guy. What is this dude's name? So I could just
Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph is a fucking bum. Okay, he's been in the league 10 years. I've drafted him a few times. He is terrible. Do not call him a tight end. That guy's a blocker. He doesn't do nothing. Don't fucking try to tell me if I was a Giants fan that you brought in a tight end with this guy. And you literally potentially had the greatest tight end, right? According to all the Mel Kipers and all of these other draft gurus, I would have gotten the best player on the board. What are we doing? At least the Falcons, they suck. But one time they seen the best player on the board and they gave everything to get him. I don't understand. All right, going to my squad. I think my squad killed. And I'm not even trying to be a homer. I'm still suspect on Zach Wilson only because he's a little smaller. But I like that they go get a guard. I like after that they get a versatile wide receiver. They back that up with a running back. They get 2 smash mouths corners. They got one of the guys from FSU who I always think FSU defensive players are fire. The last guy who was an FSU player who I was always banging on my chest for that I loved was Jalen Ramsey. So I really digged it. And now, bringing that into the line that we did on the offseason, we got, Corey Davis. I thought Corey Davis was a little strange only because he wasn't some of the headliners in the wide receiver department. You had Juju and you had the guy that you signed, but obviously those 2 guys lasted on the on free agency for a long time. So there might have been something wrong that we don't know from the insiders. But overall, I'm happy with it. They get Carl Lawson. They bring in, what is it? Sheldon Rankin from the Saints as a nose tackle. They also get Vinny Curry from the Eagles, another defensive end that's going to be in the mix. They bring in one of my guys that I enjoyed him, Joyner, who I think he's a hard-hitting safety. But they keep putting him at corner. But it looks like this year they're going to be moving him into the safety position. I think overall the Jets definitely stole the offseason and the draft from the Giants. I was a head scratching because I literally text you like, did the Giants take? And then it said I had to read it again because it said trade to the Bears. I was like, what in the fuck?
We'll see, man. You guys got a rookie. You got a rookie head coach. You got Zach Wilson who looks 11. And they're trying to say Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, junior
comparisons, whatever. Yeah, but you know how that goes.
I don't know how it goes. I just say on paper right now, I'm happy for an organization that stinks up the joint all the time. At least looking forward, we get a diverse coach. We also get a guy who's running a Niners offense, and the Niners actually have Shanahan's offense is fire. I've always digged it. I still have concerns on our offensive line, but it's okay. We'll deal with it, and we'll see. But I felt like the Giants had a really good opportunity to steal a really good player in the top 10, and they back out of it for 3 quarterbacks. That's not. I'm not impressed with that. At least the Jets. Zach Wilson was supposed to be the guy. They get the guy, and then they traded down to get one of the top end offensive linemen. I don't know if you've seen that, but they got that. I thought that was gutsy. So we'll see. And the dude was wheeling and dealing all day. He was trading picks to the Raiders. He was trading picks to the Chiefs. Like, from a GM, Joe Douglas, I'll fucks with you, bro. At least you're trying. Because over the last 10 years, we haven't been trying. But we'll get off of it. And like I said, I definitely know there's obviously going to be more to the story moving forward. All right, I'm going to try to speed up through these next few things. Out of all the landing spots in the drafts, who did you like the most? Who do you think is going to have? Let's go with the. We'll stop at Chase. Actually, no, we'll stop at the Lions. That was 7,
Hmm.
right? With Swell. Out of those guys, who do you think is gonna have the most success out the gate?
Probably Kyle Pitts, just because
Okay.
he's gonna have all the one-on-one matchups with linebackers, and and if they put a safety on him or a cornerback, it's gonna be a smaller guy. He's 6'6", 230.
He's gonna be playing slot corners. Yes.
Exactly. So I think he's gonna have the most upside. It's hard to say for offensive tackles. As long as he doesn't give up a sack or opens up holes for running back, then we'll know at the end of the season. But Trevor Lawrence, he's he landed with a lot of good weapons. Like DJ Chark is good, James Robinson's good. I was surprised they took another running back in the draft. I thought they were gonna go, another wide receiver or another tight end. They took a blocking tight end, which is kind of a little weird. But I guess they know that they're gonna probably be behind in some of these games, and they're just gonna probably be throwing it most of the time. So I think Trevor Lawrence has an opportunity to probably flourish because he's gonna be behind a lot and put up some big numbers.
Airing it out.
Zach Wilson, I don't know. It's a little scary just because one is the Jets and two is Zach Wilson. He really didn't light up college like that. Trey Lance is probably not gonna play until maybe the halfway part of the season. So who knows what happens there. Who else we have? Panay
Yeah,
Sewell, like I
Pitts.
said,
And then I think my pick, I would just say I think that with your tight end with Pitts, I think that's a great one. I would say in second place Jamal Chase. If Burrow could come back in a timely fashion, they're both were in college together. I think that's going to be instant chemistry. I think that last year you could tell when he was playing that the offense was clicking. I think having another big physical wide receiver over there is probably going to be helpful, and hopefully he doesn't have to hold the ball for 10 seconds to wait for this guy to run a deep dig or a slant or a comeback route. Hopefully they move this guy all around the field. So I think that would be another guy that we could probably see emerge as having a good rookie season.
The only issues that I have was they needed him to get offensive line help.
Right.
So like Jamar Chase was cool, was flashy, but they should have took Panay Sewell. That's who the Bengals should have taken. Not a wide receiver. T Higgins is good.
I love T Higgins.
You'll be fine. Like these guys were, the offense was clicking.
They were clicking last year.
And the reason why he got hurt, why? Because he was running for his fucking life. And he got hurt because he was running for his life and got fucking destroyed.
Oh my god.
So
oh no, go ahead, finish. And I want to ask
you want to pay these guys $40 million a year, but you don't want to protect them. Like
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
So I wanted to ask you really quickly. Did you see this Urban Meyer story?
About which one? About
Tim
Tim Tebow? Okay. I get it. I get it from a standpoint of him bringing championship pedigree in the sense of winning two, college titles back to back. That's hard to do, and it really hasn't been done like that. I think bringing somebody in who is an older guy, who's a veteran, who knows how to win, talk shit about Tim Tebow and how he played the quarterback position. He won.
I agree with
he has a winning. He has a winning record. He brings some fire, and I get the whole religion shit could be over the top and a little bit annoying, sometimes. But that's how he is. He wears his emotions on the sleeve. He wears his religion on the sleeve. I think if you have somebody who is gonna go to battle with you, I'd rather get somebody who's passionate and who's going to play hard and bring some experience. Because there's nobody in that locker room who's really a vet who's gonna step up and be a Ray Lewis kind of dude. Not saying he's not the caliber of Ray Lewis, the player, but he could bring that fire of saying, "Hey guys, look, I've been here. I won games. I went to the playoffs. I beat the Steelers in a playoff game. I got slapped by the Patriots. So you could bring all these stories and these ebbs and flows and have these fringe players who were say, hey, listen, they didn't give me a shot on the Jets because X, Y, and Z. They didn't give me a shot on the Patriots like X, Y, and Z. They didn't give me a shot on the Eagles because X, Y, and Z. So, get your shit together. Study the playbook. I feel like it's going to be more an assistant coach as a player that Urban Meyer knows, respects, and I'm pretty sure has been in contact with him throughout, this 6-7 years he's been out the league.
I also think that him playing baseball and dealing with that adversity probably brings a little bit more to the fold too, because now he can talk about not only his college experience, his professional experience, whether it be baseball and football. And like you said, he definitely won. And it sucks that they weren't able to get him the tools to put him in a place where he could have won more. All right, I just wanted to get that. We'll move on just because we're going against the clock here a little bit. So I know you don't watch that much baseball, right?
Not a lot.
All right,
But
replay is not working in the MLB. It's not. It's not. I watched. My wife is becoming a huge baseball fan. I think it's awesome and I think it's fun. She's also, a big fan of Tatis and the boys over there, the Latino swag that's happening with Eric Hosmer and Manny Machado and Tatis. That's all dope, right? But I watched 30 games in 3 days. I can't tell you how many blown calls they were. And they went to the review and they still blew them. So, first of all, and I want to bring in the NFL into this too. Okay, so we're complaining about fans, right? As fans, we're complaining that games are too long. All right, you should be hearing that. We brought this in about COD earlier, right? Like, why are you not listening to your fan base? If the call is not being made on the field, NFL, MLB, then why are referees going to the fucking sideline? You should have a mic that says, it's good, go, it's bad, go. Why are we wasting time? Why are we wasting time? And to bring the MLB into this, why are you wasting time and still getting it wrong? They're not making the call on the field. Why the fuck do I have to have umpires fucking go there? Now, granted, it might be dope because if I was in the stadium, I could get another hot dog and another beer. But MLB, bro, I dare you to start watching games. It is atrocious what the umpires are doing to the game in the sense of blown calls. And now I just had on, shout out to Emmanuel Laura, just had him on real quick for a new segment. I called it high heat, but I'm going to change it to taking heat. And we talked about this. The strike zone is all over the fucking place. I've seen the same umpire low and away call strike and it be in the same place and call it ball. So what the fuck are we doing here? Like, I don't MLB, please, what is happening? So I know you don't watch the game, but bro.
I know what you mean because you have it's been like that for a long time. I say for the last 15 years, 10 years. But more like the last 10 years, where you see the catcher, the ball's on the outside, and they bring it to the middle, and then the umpire calls a strike, and I'm like, what are you doing, ump? Why you how do you not see him reach down?
It's called framing, by the way. It's called framing when the catcher fucking puts it in. Like, are you that senile that you blinked and then homeboy went from here to here?
Yeah, like I don't understand what the fuck is going on with that. I've had this issue with baseball for a long time. Baseball has been boring. They need an influx of talent. They need to revamp the strike zone area. I don't know where wiffle ball has the fucking strike zone in the back, and if it hits in between this shit, is a strike. And so be it. And I get it. You want to have some human element to the game, but like
the humans are getting it wrong. So to me, that human element shit is garbage.
Because
we're in the future. There should be some kind of computerness. That way, at least, even if you're doing that, at the end of the game, you'd have been like, yo, out of 100 strikes you called, you only got 60 right. Like, it doesn't even seem like there's scrutiny to the umps for getting it right. They're just like, well, he's just known for having a large strike zone. Bullshit. You're costing games. And to bang harder, that man on second, I watched it this weekend. It favors the home team. It's garbage. I literally seen a man on second, pass ball, he goes to third, stupid hit, home, game over. So now, right, watch this. Not only are you getting fucking calls wrong on the field with fucking replay, not only do you have a horrible strike zone, you don't want extra innings, and you're favoring all the home teams. This is bullshit. That is, I will not watch that product. And I will continue to watch your product so that I can keep fucking bringing you guys and saying this. Jay, garbage. I swear to God, I dare you to watch. And you're never going to watch it live. Go to YouTube. They cut up all the games, 10 minutes. Watch all the games. It is incredible. I seen the Mets-Philly game. It was a home run, and they called it back. I was like, what? They don't even know how to call home runs anymore. Because to me, I thought that if it passed the yellow line, right, which is the border around the whole place, right, it's a home run. But it hit a rail, so because it hit the rail over the yellow line, it wasn't a home run. So now what? The rail is the yellow line? What?
They just pick and choose, man, and it sucks because like I played it in the show, and I've lost a game or two with the whole man on second base, where the pop fly, the guy moves over to third, then a single, and the game's over. I think it's stupid. I think it's a rule that needs to be taken out. These guys are getting paid hundreds and millions of dollars to play this game. This whole, and I get it. Like baseball is boring, and I wouldn't mind messing around with the idea of a 1-1 count to start. Like put pressure on these batters to put the ball in play. Put pressure on these pitchers to throw strikes. Like you could put it in a situation like that. Try it in the minor leagues first. See what happens. Try it in AAA. Start with a 1-1. It happens in softball. I know softball and baseball are two different things, but in certain leagues, you start with a strike and 1 strike, 1 ball. So you force these guys to, throw strikes and elevate the game. Make the game more fun and more exciting. And I don't get it. I don't get it.
Listen. Charge more fucking money for the jerseys. Cut the season down in half. Get rid of the shift and bring back juice balls. Because let me tell you something. If you and I went to a baseball game or we were watching a baseball game on TV, Jay, and there was the score was like 8-10 and it was all home runs, guess what? We're going to watch.
Yep.
But when it's 0-1 or 1-1 the whole game, and then we get to the 10th, and it's the home team, and you put a guy on second, and a pass ball happens, and he gets a third. First of all, the pressure of a pitcher having a guy on third definitely changes his pitch selection.
Of course.
And he's probably throwing balls that guy is going to take advantage of.
And then, okay, so most people don't know this, or if you watch baseball, you do know this. So you have from the stretch, there's a normal, and then you have a different approach to when somebody is on base. Mm-hmm. So when somebody is on base, you then have to start your pitch basically from the side when you have somebody on base. When you don't have anybody on base, the pitcher starts straight forward. And then the motions are different. The way you throw a curveball is different because you started from here, then you turn, and then you throw. But when somebody's on base, you already start from here. So that changes everything. So putting, and I get it. Listen, even the pitcher, you're getting paid millions of dollars to get out of the situation anyway.
I get that, but there's also a certain thing about putting an unfair advantage, right? Like,
well,
I didn't put the
away for sure, but the away team gets it too.
No, I get that, but what I was saying is that I seen it so I talked to shout out to Diane Medina. The first time I seen it, I was like, this is unfair. She said, how is it unfair? Both teams get it. What I noticed when I watched it on the weekend was that there was less pressure on the home team to produce runs.
We would have to see it.
Watch it. Start watching.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying it might be bad to the eye, but I would have to see the data. So let's say if the data comes at the end of the year and it says more away teams won than home teams, then who has the advantage? You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. 100%. But now, even if it's the away team or the whole team, that means that right now, the way it's set, there's no extra innings in baseball because a fucking bullshit play can happen and the game is over.
Yep.
A bullshit play. I told you, a pass ball, that's not even a legitimate offensive play. And he moves to third. So, again, I thought if you're going to do it, put him at first. I like your idea of 1-1, forces the guys. All right, we're going to keep going. All right. How sad are you that the Angels forced Albert Pujols to retire?
I guess it was about time. They signed him to this contract. He didn't live up to the contract. I think they went to the postseason once with him there. They didn't win any chips with him. It's just time. He's batting 198 now.
Shit.
It's time to move on. You get somebody $250 million. He's already, I think, a 2-time or a 3-time champion. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, with the
Cardinals. He's already, his legacy's set. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He still has the opportunity to go somewhere else. I don't see anybody picking him up unless it's a gimmick to bring fans in. You're Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac. You bring somebody just to bring fans in, make some money. Or who knows? He was over in LA. Maybe he just didn't like the LA lifestyle. Who knows what happens? If he went to the Padres, they have a big Latin presence there. He gets revitalized with the young guys. I doubt the Yankees would do it.
That's what I thought about. That's what
he would have to go to an AL team just because of DH. I don't see him. He could be in the field.
Right.
But we don't know. Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
But that was my guy.
I know it was a lot of guys for us. I mean, I think he was probably, I'm not gonna say the first famous Latino player, but the level of conviction from a hitter standpoint that Fat Albert bought. I know everybody in our camp was excited when we were growing up watching him. He definitely brought a lot more eyeballs. So from not St. Louis to watching the Cardinals, he was
Sure.
great. And as a Latino, I'm a little sad. It would be cool if he landed somewhere, even if, like you were saying, like a Tim Tebow thing to just bring some experience. It would also be interesting to me if you brought him to the NL. If he could just be a pitch hitter and just have him on the sidelines coaching dudes up on how to take pitches and how to understand pitches and breaking all that down. So I am a little sad. I also don't think he lived up to his contract, but that's the thing again, right? And it sucks, man. It's like a two-headed sword where you want to play guys, but do guys play when they get paid? Okay, staying with the Angels. How impressed are you about Ohtani? He pitches every 5 days and he DHs and he plays in every game and he's hitting bombs.
They need to bring more Japanese guys over. Bring them all over. Bring all the stars. All the guys who hit 70 home runs over there and bat 500. Look at Ichiro. He played 10 seasons over there. He came over here and crushed.
Destroyed.
What if he would have been here from jump? How more?
Hideki Matsui. Hideki Matsui was a
guy.
fucking rock star.
Start bringing these guys over. Like
Tanaka is got crazy numbers as a pitcher, and he was only a fucking Yankee for like 5 years.
And there's another guy who we didn't win with him, but he had crazy. He had crazy numbers. He dominated. Bring these guys over. And see what they can do. Remember, the Yankees paid $50 million just to talk to him.
I know. It's like the rules that they have with international football. You have to play the club first, and then you have to pay the player. But who cares? They got fucking money coming out of his ears. I'm tired of fucking owners talking about money. They fucking have so fucking much of it. Oh, you lost $1 billion, but you still have $10 billion. Just relax, bro, and give the fans something to watch. All right, we're gonna switch gears real quick to the NBA because we just did the NFL and the MLB. I know you're gonna say no. Tom Thibodeau, Coach of the Year. Come on.
He's up there.
Organization around, bro.
I could say that. Again, new data. You know how me? I changed my opinion. I don't have no problem with that. Then fourth seed now? If they keep winning, I think they get to the third seed.
Bro, I think that they're like they in their last 10, they're like 10-0 or some shit like that, 9-1. And their last 15, they're like 12-3. Like they're winning, and it's not against bum. I mean, they're not against bum. It's legitimate wins.
It'll be a tough thing because you have Steve Nash on the East. Dealing with all those injuries, he's up for a Coach of the Year candidate.
That's fair.
You got Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns. They might be the 1 seed.
What the fuck is up in Phoenix? Wow, good. Congratulations to them. I can't believe CP3 turned that whole shit around. I know it's not just him.
You even have, I know it happened a little late. Like I think it happened like 15, 20 games late. But you have Nick McMillan with the Atlanta Hawks. He's completely turned the Atlanta Hawks around. Made them a beast in the East. Doc Rivers with the Sixers. He could be up for the, so there's a lot of potential guys who have better records than the Knicks and who's dealt with similar adversity. So
do you think that this is something that they could build off of? Because I've seen this happen before with the 1 year wonder, and then next year happens, and then something happens, and they just don't produce the same. Is this something that the Knicks can build off of?
I hope so. I just hope they don't. I get Julius Randle right now is cooking, and he is the guy.
I told you, MVP season to me. I know he's not going to win
but is he a guy who could play within a system with other players who are better than him?
Right.
We seen that when he was in he had his own team, and he was in the Pelicans. And people try to forget he was in the Pelicans. He was that good.
He came from the Lakers too, right?
Yeah.
He's from the Lakers. He was trash over there.
Exactly. So, we seen him be on losing teams and not winning and being in the West. So he's in the East. He's not that fantastic. But who's, if they could get Lonzo Ball, they get a legitimate point guard who's a hard-nosed defensive player, who's a knockdown three-point shooter. We just need stars to come. That's the issue. Like, if KD wasn't a bitch and would have signed with the Knicks and didn't follow Kyrie to Brooklyn, that would have been a nice little, little team. Kyrie, KD, you would have had, Julius Randle there, young bench. Then, who's to know next season, to see what happens.
It sucks that Dolan has made such a joke and laughing stock of the Knicks that I feel like even big stars, because I've heard out of LeBron James's mouth that he wanted to play in New York. and for many reasons he just didn't come. So that sucks. I hope that we can move forward to this. I think that it's kind of cool. I mean, I already threw his thing in there. I think NBA News threw it in there too. It'd be interesting how many votes Tom would get. But I thought Tom was a beast when he was in Chicago, and a lot of people hated on him because he played a low scoring basketball. He plays really good defense. That's his concept as a coach.
Hard.
I don't give a fuck. I like his swagger. His shit is
Yeah.
dope. Hopefully we can stay with it. All right, moving on real quick. How good is Russell Westbrook? I know he's a team player, but as an individual guy, this guy is awesome or not?
He is great in the sense of he's the only player ever to play hard on every possession that we've ever seen. But the sad part is it hasn't resulted in championships and it hasn't resulted to getting to a lot of championships. And
also, that triple double shit for him taking the overall from Oscar Robertson. I mean, that the guy is he's just a beast, bro.
He's just can't go down.
I don't understand why he can't play with other guys. I just don't understand that.
He's gonna go down like Allen Iverson, a great iconic player who just didn't live up to the full potential of winning championships. And Stephen A. said it best. He's first ballot Hall of Famer, fantastic player. But we've already seen this. You're gonna average a triple double for 4 of the last 5 years, and you're gonna get exited in the first round again. That's not resulting to winning. We're not resulting to winning. So that's
I got it. That sucks. I mean, the guy's magic. Fucking dude just scores like a fucking animal. And it's true what you said. I like that take probably the most. Just plays hard, so hard. I wonder what it would be like if he was on the Lakers to have a guy like LeBron James to kind of temper him down. Because I feel like LeBron would probably be the only guy who could be able to speak to him like, yo, just chill. We got this. We're going to blow up. And then also give the Knicks that like crazy tenacity. I mean, the Lakers that crazy tenacity, because I think like the Lakers, obviously without Davis and without fucking LeBron, have just shit the bed, and their bench is not as good as it was last year. Obviously, I don't even know. I feel like the Lakers. Everybody, you said it. Clippers, Nets. It seems like the Lakers, if they keep on losing games, they're just gonna get bumped in the first round. And I read a headline that said that LeBron James might not even make it back. So. But yeah, so that concludes around the leagues. That was a little longer. I always like picking your brain on the NBA the most, just because I know you watch games and you find it interesting.